So, got a really late start today, this morning, getting everybody off to school and everything. And it's because I got to just dive into my blessings last night. I have 5 kids. My 2 oldest are 12 and 10, my boys. And then my 3 youngest are my girls. They are 7, 4, and 2. As you could probably guess, the younger 3 take over everything, all my time. But last night I got to stay up late and just really talk to my boys, which was nice because I rarely get to do that. They usually just lock themselves up in their room with their Roblox or Minecraft or Fortnite, all that crazy shit. Anyway, we're having some heart-to-hearts and it was really nice. And, they're telling me about their day, their experiences at school, what ticks them off. And it really came up how my youngest son, who's 10, his birthday is in April. And it seemed like once COVID hit, his birthdays always landed when we couldn't go outside. So he's never really gotten much for his birthday. I just recently started celebrating birthdays a couple of years ago. And it was usually always really boring, nothing exciting, almost just another day, except, pizza. Anyway, we're just sitting there talking, and I'm just like, well, I'll make plans for this and I'll make plans for that. I have to see what I'm able to do for you, bud. And, I thought our conversation was very positive. I thought it was going well. But then my 10-year-old started doing what he usually does, and that's him getting stuck in the negative. He started talking about how he thinks it's going to go, how he'll probably just be getting some pizza. Maybe his granny would stop by. Probably won't be anything that big. And he's not really expecting anything. My oldest son got really upset with him. He's like, Mom's sitting right here telling you that she's planning on this and that and doing something for you, and you're just complaining. You're whining. Stop whining. I had to really stop him like, hey, he's just venting. He's saying how he feels. And I was just like, you have to understand, with someone like your brother, it's hard. They kind of get stuck in the negative. And sometimes when people are depressed, that's what happens. Sometimes you just got to get those negative feelings out. Know that somebody's listening to you and somebody hears you and can just accept that. Not telling them to stop whining. But here I thought I was teaching some type of lesson to my oldest one. My youngest son taught me a lesson. He looked at me and he said, nobody listens to me. Nobody wants to hear how I feel. He said, so most of the time I just go in my room, go under my blankets, and I cry. I saw my baby's eyes fill up with tears, and he had a smile on his face. He just tightened up real quick. And I just watched my baby suck all that emotion and all them tears back down into himself. And he just kind of was smiling and did a little dance, looked away from us, and I can tell he kind of disassociated. He went somewhere else for a minute. And I looked at him, I said, it's okay to cry, baby. Mama does it too. In my room, usually in the car, on the back porch when I'm by myself. I said, sometimes you just got to get those emotions out. But he didn't let them out at that moment. He pulled all that sadness right back in and put on a happy face. I had to tell my oldest one, I had to say, well, he gets that from his mama. He gets that from me. Because usually I put on a happy face in those situations. Especially before I learned how to really start labeling my emotions and seeing that labeling them took a lot of that power away. But I gotta be honest. In that moment, It was just another time where I just felt so powerless. Because as a mom, I'm going to hold myself responsible for my children's feelings. And being just so sick that I can't just take all that away. And depression can show up with children, them just having a stomach ache all the time. Maybe they are aggressive and they may want to wrestle or fight, mess with their little brothers and sisters and see them cry. It can also come out as defiance. They don't want to do what you tell them to do. They don't want to follow their routine. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to do their homework. It can look like they're just being lazy and all they want to do is play video games all day. But as adults, we have escape and we don't have to ask permission for it. Yeah, we can go drink a beer. We can go out to the bar with our friends. We can just sit there on our phone and ignore our life. But now, our children have electronics. They can escape into their phones. They can escape into their video games. And a lot of them do that. It just becomes their life. More times than not, if your kid has an addiction to an electronic, anybody, a lot of times that's their way to escape. I love my babies. And I try to prioritize my self-care and try to teach them how to take care of themselves too. But when they're all fighting for this one person, their mother, it can get tiring. And so then they have to go and find their escape. I just really want my littles to know, and especially you, Isaiah, that even though mom loves you, your brothers and sisters love you, your dad loves you, your granny loves you, that you got to work on loving yourself and liking yourself. And whatever I can do to help you get there, I'm going to do it. Because you are worth the stars in the sky. You are so intelligent. You are so beautiful. You are so funny. And we're going to do it together. We're going to make it together. I totally get when somebody is depressed. I totally get when somebody's anxious. And I totally get when people don't feel good enough. And a lot of times when we start believing that stuff about ourselves, it's because of labels other people put on us. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Pay attention to yourselves and how you speak to each other. Pay attention to yourselves and how you speak to yourself. Let's make it a goal to push around love instead of pushing around pain. And when it does come up, it's okay. We can work it out together. I hope you guys have a beautiful Tuesday. Thank you so much for listening. I love you.